Hi, we're taking a drive. We are starting at 52nd and Baltimore Avenue, and we're going to travel the strip that used to be hitting on it back in the 60s and 70s. This became a predominantly African American community, and there were a lot of social activities, jazz clubs, black-owned businesses, restaurants here on 52nd Street. And from some of the longtime residents of the area in Philadelphia, they said that, you know, from 52nd and Baltimore Avenue to about 52nd and Haverford Avenue, everybody knew that's where all the activity was. So we are going to take a hyperlocal drive from 52nd and Baltimore Avenue to 52nd and Haverford Avenue, and this is West Philadelphia. One of the things that I noticed about 52nd Street is that there are a lot of older buildings here that they've repurposed instead of tearing down, even though they did tear down some buildings. Over to my right is Malcolm X Park. It was renamed several years ago, and there is Theater in the X. They do a lot of community plays here at Malcolm X Park in the summertime. Excellent work. There's a lot of social and charitable events that happen prior to COVID. On Thursday nights, they used to have line dancing and music in the park, so anyone could come and dance, and it was just really a nice event for everyone. On the right, there's this building, it's a church. I've never been inside of it, but it's been around for a long time. It always stuck out to me because of the white paint and the red crosses all over it. Coming up on the that church was on the left, excuse me. Coming up on the right-hand side, right here at 52nd and Spruce, that used to be Big George's Stop and Dine Cafe. That was soul food. When Bill Clinton, when Bill Clinton was president, he actually stopped in to Big George's because he said he wanted some soul food. And it's been closed now for 10, 15 years. But a lot of people would go there. And coming up on the left-hand side at 52nd and Locust, we have the Locust Theater that I think it started off as a movie theater, maybe with talkies. I'm not sure if it had vaudeville. I think that was the Nixon, which is further up. And then right across the street from it, where it's now a tax service or children's childcare, used to be Fufu's Steak Shop, home of the Mama Jamma. You can't see it, but I did a show about that interesting history there. On my right-hand side, we have ACAF, which stands for African Cultural Art Forum, and that used to be the Aqua Lounge back in the 60s and 70s, where all the big-name jazz musicians would play, like Dizzy Gillespie and Rashawn, what was his name? Rashawn somebody or other, I can't remember. My mom, she said that there used to be a restaurant here on 52nd Street called Brown's, and they had the best food. She worked there as a waitress, like when she was a teenager. That's no longer there. And now we're crossing over Walnut Street. And I think we're getting ready to pass Babe's clothing store, which has been here since 1971. It's black owned. Longevity for sure. Yeah, we just passed Babe, but it was a big truck there, so you couldn't see it. And Chestnut. So Chestnut and Walnut are two major streets, major thoroughfares that travel through West Philadelphia all the way into Center City. And I think we're getting ready to pass Yeah, we are. Where the Nixon Theater. So the Nixon Theater was built in 1910. It was originally a vaudeville theater. Then it became a movie theater. One of the last movies that I didn't see it personally, but I saw that it was on the marquee, was Shaft and the Velvet Vampire, which came out like in 1971. But unfortunately, they tore that down in 1985. And here is the Philadelphia Savings Fund Bank, which is now vacant, I think. But my grandmother used to do her banking there back in the day. Nice building, good bones, nice stone. Hopefully they'll repurpose it for something that is worthwhile for the community. And here we have 52nd and Market, another major street. And we have the elevated trains, or as we call it here in Philadelphia, the L. And you can't see it, but there's murals all on the base of the L of local Philadelphian celebrities and people in the arts and humanities and sciences, you know, all that kind of stuff. Here we have 52nd and Arch. And then we're going to start seeing some churches. Unfortunately, they tore down a couple of churches. But one thing about Philadelphia, they say you'll see a church and a bar. There's not that many bars anymore like there used to be. But we still have a lot of churches. And hopefully they'll be able to save these buildings because they were so well. So there's a church in the corner. Another church right here, Redeemer Tabernacle. Coming up, we're going to pass a couple of more churches. So Philadelphia is plentiful with the churches. And we're coming up to 52nd and Haverford. There's a new building on the left-hand side that was not there a couple of years ago. So that's brand new. Looks like it's a medical center or something. And then you'll notice there's just a lot of storefronts here, a lot of restaurants, music shops, different things like that. And now we are crossing 52nd and Haverford. There goes the 52 bus, which travels down 52nd Street from West Philly into Southwest Philadelphia. And that was our short drive of 52nd Street.